Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry for being late. I hope you all are ready. So, yeah. So, like most of you would be following up from yesterday, then it's well and good. Otherwise, those who are new, I would be giving an intro on what we have covered yesterday and what all topics we will be covering in today's class. Okay. So before starting, like I would like to know if anyone from yesterday's class has any doubts or any confusions they want to ask me. They can go ahead. I can cover those before starting off with something new that is scheduled for today's class. So I'll be going through the chat. Yeah, good evening. Let me just put it over here. Hey, good evening. Okay, I'll wait for another 1 minute. If you guys have any questions, you are good to go. Otherwise, I'll be proceeding with today's class. Mm, Okay. So some of you are asking recap of span. Okay. Then repeat hover property. Kindly repeat CSS section. Okay. Recap of span I will do. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Recap. Most of you are asking for a recap, right? So let me just start with the recap itself. So the basics. CSS, the visual element. What is JavaScript? So Anurag, if you are so much interested into all these stuff, like it's better that you take the full stack developer classes in Let's Upgrade. So that would help you with JavaScript concepts as well, because this is in this 5 days bootcamp we will be only able to cover HTML and CSS. We would not be covering JavaScript. So yeah, okay. Fine. So yeah, let me just start. I'll be presenting my screen and I'll be starting with the recap of yesterday's class basically. So let me just, I hope my screen is visible to all. Let me just open the file that we were working on yesterday. So if you guys remember, we were using this IDE, which is known as like the Integrated Development Environment. The full form of IDE is Integrated Development Environment. And the IDE which we are using for our development purposes is VS Code, that is Visual Studio Code. Fine. So let me just start. Like as for the recap, I would need to like remove all the code which I had yesterday. Okay. So let me just start from the very basics. So in your Visual Studio Code, you can create a file with the name index.html. That is simple. Anyone with a basic knowledge can create a new file and give it a name index.html. After that, the thing that you need to follow is you need to write HTML over here. Okay. And if you go to HTML5 and select that and click enter, you will get some boilerplate code. Okay, so boilerplate code is nothing but a predefined set of code that comes in written for you, so that you don't have to type it every time you create a new web page. Okay, so this is there. So the very first thing I told you that you need to define here is your doc type HTML. So this is actually recognized by your browser, like your web browser, for example, Chrome. This allows it to recognize like which kind of file it is running. Okay, so this is why we write this. After that comes the main part. Okay, so this is a tag. Okay, as I told you in HTML, tags are written inside the pair of angular braces. Okay, so angular brackets, opening, closing. Inside this, you will give a tag name. So tag name is nothing, like I'm just giving an example. Then closing tag name, right? So in this way, you can have a like set of tag names. So this whole combination is known as an element, like a opening tag name and a closing tag name together with some content inside is content inside is known as a tag name. Okay, sorry, is known as an element. Fine. So I hope this is clear. So I started with the basic tag name, that is HTML. So HTML is opened here and closed here. Then we go inside the head. So head opens, closes. Then the body opens, closes. And as I told yesterday, like a head, as in your head is where the brain of your body resides. Similarly, the head in your web page is where all the logic and all the like requirements of your website resides, right? And the body is which is displayed on your web browser, right? So just keep these things in mind. The title is what it is displayed on your browser. Okay, so let's say if I open any website, let's say I open Let's Upgrade website only. So you see this title, Let's Upgrade 2023. So this is the title. So if I just make some title, my title, okay, and I save this file and then I run this file. I'm just simply running it in my browser. You see you are getting this my title over here, right? So this is what is the purpose of using title. Okay, so apart from this, I told you basic I told you about your basic HTML like text tags. So if you don't want to use any tags, that is also fine. You can directly write down some text. So direct text written without any tags. Okay, so this is also fine. If you go and refresh your page, you will get your text, right? But HTML provides us some like predefined tags, like the one which I told about you yesterday, that were the heading tags. So we have h1, h2, h3, all those heading tags. So heading 1. So similarly we have h2, h3, h4. So very first, let me just note all of these down, and let me just make the changes which I want. This would be h3, then would be h4, then would be h5, then would be h6. Okay, this I will change to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I save and refresh this. You see you are getting the headings, right? The heading 1 is having some style, like it is big in font size and it is bold. Similarly heading 2, heading 3, heading 6. So till heading 6 we have the heading tags. Okay, so this is about this I have already told in yesterday's class, so I would not extend it much. After the heading comes your paragraph tags. So if you just need to write some paragraph, my paragraph for learning. Okay, if I write it down like this, you get one paragraph, like it comes in here, right? So this is also one thing which you can use for like having text in your web page. Now after that, most of you are asking about span, right? So if you see, let me just create one more p. So another paragraph. And I refresh this, you see another paragraph. This is coming in next line, right? This is coming in one line, then your another paragraph is coming in another line. Okay, but what if in case you need to have some text in the same line itself? So in that case you can make use of span element. So if you write down a span and my span, yeah, sorry, but I need to actually include it inside your um, paragraph tag itself. Okay, so you see now this comes in here. Okay, now let's say you have to give it some particular style. You want this span to be bold, like something to be bold in your text, like you want some different style for that particular thing. So instead of like having another text, let me just bold something over here. So span, and I'll put this paragraph inside this. Okay, and I want to make it bold. So I told basics of the styling yesterday, so I will be using that actually. So just bear with me what I am doing. So my span. Okay, now I will be like giving it the styling. So style, this is how I told yesterday that how we give style. So yeah. So let me just change the color of this text. So let me just make it blue. Okay. So now you see, I was able to change only this portion from my whole text into another color, right? So this is the advantage of using a span. Like in line only, if you want to have some changes in a paragraph or in any text. So for that purpose, you make use of a span. Okay. So that is the basic purpose of using span element. So yeah, so that is enough for the revision, I guess. Or like, let me just give 2 more minutes for the revision. So I have covered the like heading tags h1 till h6, then the paragraph tags, then the span tag. After that, yesterday I also covered the image tag. So, but that I will be starting afresh only. So let's just ignore all these things. So okay. So, if any questions, anyone? So new topic start karo, yeah. So most of you are asking to start a new topic only. Yeah. So I will be starting off with a new thing. So the new thing, I just covered image tag yesterday, like only in the last 5 or 10 minutes, I guess. So I'll be starting off from starting today. So image tag is nothing but which is used to which allows you to display some image on your web page, images on your web page. So how you write an image tag? Simply like that tag syntax image, okay, and img, that is the abbreviation for your image, okay. So image, and then you need to give an src. So src is an abbreviation for source, okay. So it tells you like from where you have to pick up the image. So I have some images on my system only. So I will use the forward slash syntax to navigate to my system files. Okay. So just follow along with me. So if I want to go to my downloads and I want to have image, um, mm, I don't think so. I have any image in my download folder. Let me check where can I find one image. So in my user databases, src assets, yeah. So I'll use this image. I'll copy it on my desktop. So now I will simply go to my code and use dot slash desktop slash p4.avif. Okay. I just save it, and now I refresh my browser and I see my images appearing over here in my web page, right? So this is about your image tag. Okay. So one thing you should remember, like image tag is a self-closing tag. It does not require to be closed. Okay. So either you can add it like this, like a forward slash here itself. Okay. So it would make no effect and it works as it is. Okay. So image tag does not require any closing image tag. Okay. So this is one thing you should keep in mind. Okay. Now coming to another thing, like you see now, if you want to make some changes to this image, okay, let's say you want to add some styling to it, you want to change the width and height of it, okay. So one thing that you can do is use that class property only to style it over here. Okay. Another thing that is available in this image tag is height and width property. So you can directly give height and give like let's say 100. This will be px only, like pixels only, as I told yesterday, and width 100. Okay, like this, if I give and I go and refresh, see it becomes 100 pixels by 100 pixels in size. So that is about your image tag. Okay, so I hope this image tag is clear, or any doubts on this, then let me know. And also one thing that comes as alt. So alt is nothing but it tells you what this image is all about. Okay, so let's say you take a situation when your net is not good. Okay, so if you are loading a web page and your net is not fast enough or something, then you see that the image does not load. but then also you should be having some idea, right, like what this image is about. So for that purpose we make use of this alt attribute. So we just define something like sample image for my web page. Okay, so if you have, let's say, like display picture or anything, so you can, in the alt you can directly give display picture. So in case it doesn't load, that the image is not able to load, you will at least be uh, getting some idea, you will be getting some description over here that says display picture. Okay, so yeah, this is about your entire image tag. So I hope it makes sense. If this is clear, then I will proceed with other tags. Um, Reading comments. If anyone wants to mention anything, they are free. Okay. Antala Shrikant is asking how to mark our attendance. So Antala, you can go through the description of this YouTube video. You will get all the links over there, starting from registration, attendance, and everything. So you can go through it. Okay. So yeah, so I assume that most of you are clear with this image tag. So the next topic that for now I will be like commenting out this image. Okay, I don't require it right now. So simply I wrap it inside this syntax which I told you guys yesterday. So now my image is gone. Okay, I'll also remove all these things because I am done already. So now I'll clear my web page actually. So the next topic that I will be starting is your unordered list. Okay, so let's say now some people are asking, sir, Biswajit is asking, sir, I don't understand the image SRC part. Okay, so Biswajit, image SRC is nothing. It is, let me just uncomment. SRC is telling you the place from where you have to pick this image. Okay, so let's say I don't pick this image from my desktop. Okay, let's say I pick this from somewhere on the internet. Okay, so as a sample banner image. Okay, let's say I'm using some image sample display picture. Let's say sample display picture. Let's say I am using this image. I want to use this image. Okay, so what I'll do is simply open image in new tab. So here I will be getting the link of this image, right? So I can simply just copy this link, and in my SRC, if I give I paste this link, SRC is nothing but the source, like it is telling from where this image has to be picked. Okay, so now I just pasted it here and saved my file, and now if I go to my web page and refresh, see my this image is coming in my web page now, right? It was there earlier, but now I am able to use it in my web page simply. So your SRC allows you to use some image in your web page. Okay, so just you need to like paste the path of that image, right? Yes, Navneet is asking SRC is for source file. Yeah, correct. It is for source. Okay. Then Abhishek is asking to change this image through CSS. We can use class. Yeah, sure you can, but then you have to use the background image property of CSS and not the image SRC attribute. Okay. So that we will be covering later when I will teach you about the divs and all. So yeah. Mm, um, so then Viswajit, thank you. Okay, Viswajit, welcome. Uh, Rishabh is saying attendance is not submitting. It will submit. You just try. It won't be any problem in that. Yeah. So then, okay. So yeah, most of your doubts are like now clear. Let me just again comment this out and let's start with the topic that I want to proceed. So now I will be covering your list. Okay, so list in HTML. So let me just comment this out. Okay, so list in HTML. So there are a few tags available in HTML that allows us to create a list. Okay, so a list is nothing but as you know what is a list. when you go to shopping, you create one list, right? List is a collection of like elements inside a row, like telling what all things you need to buy. So similarly, we have this option of creating list in HTML. So the tag which we use to create a list is UL. Okay, so UL stands for unordered list. Okay, unordered list. Let me just write it down as well, and I'll comment it. So unordered list. Okay, so this is your UL. UL is like mostly accompanied, like is always accompanied by LI. So these LI are nothing but your list tags. These allow you to write down your list items in your HTML. Okay, so UL and LI forward slash LI. Okay. So now if I want some items here, so let's say my first item is I need to bring in coffee. Okay. Then I want to create a second item, another li tag. So I want tea. Okay. Then I want chips, let's say. Okay. Then let's say I want some stationery items including pens. Okay. Then let's say I want another stationery item that is highlighter. Okay. So now you see I have added my items. Let me just make it more readable. Anyways, yeah. So you see one more. So I have a UL. Inside that I have my like 5 items, list items. Okay. Then my unordered list closing tag. So this is your list. Let's see how it looks like. So see, now you got a list, right? With bullet points. So it is telling me what all items I have listed here. So this is about your unordered list. Okay. So now there are certain stylings that are available with list that I will be covering, so that you can see like what all thing, instead of a bullet, if you want to add something, you can do that. But that I will cover in the CSS part. So for now, I hope like making what a list is makes sense to everyone in HTML. I hope this list part is clear. Okay. Biswajit is again asking, sir, we can write of tag also. Yes, Biswajit, like we can make use of tag, like any p tag or anything also. But the thing is, this comes in handy when we have an array. Like I don't know if you guys are like aware of an array or like those programming concepts or not. But let's say when you have a list of items that are being fetched from a server, and that you need to display. So for that purpose, you can make use of an unordered list and directly print those items here. Actually, those things you will be better able to learn if you join the Let's Upgrade full stack developer classes. So there I will be covering JavaScript as well. So you will get a better idea why each of these different tags are used for different purposes. Okay. So yeah. Um, so now coming to okay. This internet made millionaire is asking some question. I know HTML CSS well. I don't know what to do with that knowledge. Okay. So that things I don't think so. Like these are in the scope of this sessions. So I won't be covering it here. So yeah, let me proceed with the other tags. So your unordered list is covered. Okay. Now the next thing that I would like to be covering is your button tags. Okay. So like in most of the website you might have seen buttons are there, right, for doing certain actions. So let me just tell you about buttons, how you add buttons to a website. So for that we have two ways actually. So either we can make use of this button tag. Okay. So button and again opening and closing, and inside this whatever you write, let's say I'm writing click me. if I write like this and I see, I'll get a button over here with click me, right? I'm getting the required button, right? But on clicking it right now, nothing will happen as because I haven't given any action to it. Okay. So yeah, so this is about your button. Like this is one way to create a button. The another way I was telling about to create a button is input type equal to button. Okay, so just like follow along with me. What I'm doing is like simply declaring an input and telling its type to be button. Okay, and then giving it value. So value is what will be displayed on your button. So let's say I want to give it click me only. Okay, so click me, and again this won't have any closing tag. This is a self closing tag. So if I refresh and go here, you see I got the same button, right? Either I can use this button tag, otherwise I can use this like input tag with type button and a value which lets me like choose the text which I need to display on my button. So let's say I want to change it. So my button. Okay, so now you see this changed to my button, right? So here how you give the value, like you have to like define value is equal to something, and in case of button you can directly have this in between your opening and closing tags. Okay, so this is the major difference between button and an input type button. So yeah, so the next thing, let's just let me just introduce you to some styling of a button, um, because like this doesn't give you the feel of a button, right? Like on hovering over it, my like cursor is not changing to a pointer like an arrow also, right? So let's just start with some CSS for that. So let me just add a class name to this. So I'm giving it my button only. Okay. So I go here and I define in my CSS, I'm defining my button. So my button, I want to give a background color. So I'll give again this Dodger blue color. I prefer it. Okay. Then the next thing I would be doing is I want to adjust the width and height. So simply I want to make it 150 px. Sorry, what's 150 px, and height I want to give it 70 px. Let's say. Okay, let's see what changes come to our button. So you see our button became like this, right? But I'm not actually liking it, so just yeah, it's still better. Okay, let me just remove the other button. I'm only concerned with my button right now, like button type one. So yeah, so this is it. Now still you see like if I zoom in, you see some borders are there, right? Like this black border is there. I'm not liking that border, so let's just remove that border. So for that, another property that comes in here is border. So I'll give it none. Okay, I don't want any border. So see, now that border is gone, right? I refreshed and that border is gone, right? Now I want to change the color of this text inside it as well. This is coming as black, right? I want it to be white. So what I'll do for that? Simply color and white. Now I go and refresh. See, this becomes white, right? Another thing that I want now is I want to like that thing which I was telling, like I want that as soon as I hover over it, this cursor should become a pointer, like a pointer kind of a shape, right? So for that we have a property cursor and its value pointer. Okay, so now if I go and refresh, see, now it turns into a pointer, right? So now it is giving you a feel of a button kind of, right? So another thing that we can do to make it more beautiful is like you can give some border radius. So border radius is nothing, but it will give some like right now you see it is pointed, right? Your borders are all pointed. I want to like make it rounded. So for that we have a property known as border radius. So simply if I give border radius 20 px over here and save it and refresh it, you see your button becomes like this, right? Like kind of circular elliptical button, right? So yeah, this is how I created my like own button that looks kind of nice, like decent button that we can use in any web page. Okay, so this is about your button tag. Okay, I hope this button tag makes sense. Let's just do the same things in our input type tag also, right? So input type button, I'll give the same class to it, so that I just use the same class over here. I pasted it. So now my this button will also look same to same like that. Okay. So yeah, this click me and this is input type button, right? So yeah, this was all about your button tag. So I hope I make sense in adding a button in your uh, web page. Okay. Hmm. Okay, Gyan is telling attendance page is showing error. Okay, I'll ask the moderator to please check about the attendance thing, why it is like why people are facing issues in that. And then, okay, most of you are clear with it, right? Okay, Bhanu Teja is asking Meta. So Bhanu Teja, I guess this question was covered yesterday itself, and you only asked this. You only asked that. So meta tag is nothing but where you provide the data elements of your website. Let's say you want to provide some keywords that your website should be like eligible for SEO, like search engine optimization, so that it can be like Google can go through like any search engine can go through your website and like rank it. In that case, you can add that in meta tag. Then you can define the meta tag for telling like the screen sizes that your website will be running on. Okay, so to in case if you want to make your website responsive so that it is able to run on different screen sizes, let's say a desktop, a laptop, computer, tablet, mobile, everywhere, right? So in that case, you can use meta tags. Okay. um, How can, sir, can we get files on Git? Yes, disguised minion. Those things actually I won't be covering over these bootcamp classes because like in these classes many people join, right? And most of them are not from like tech background also, so they might not be aware of Git. So I won't be doing that. Okay. Then Abhijit is asking, can we add links to the buttons? Yeah, sure. I will be covering the anchor tags. Once I start with the anchor tags, then I will be showing how can we add the links. Okay. Um, some issue that knowing how to validate using HTML. Okay. IGEC Tech is asking how will validate using HTML. So you want to form like learn form about form validation, right? If you want to learn about form validation, that I will be covering in the subsequent classes. So just wait for it. Okay. Now coming to Thanga Pardian E, he is asking which is best button or input type. So like if you are generally using a button anywhere in your website, it is preferable to use button. But if you are using like a button inside a form, like if you have some input elements, after that you are having a button, then it is preferable to use input type button, because what happens is like it enables you to use the enter key to submit the form. So yeah, that helps. Uh, that is the like major difference of between using a button or an input type button. Okay. So then Rutuja is asking, are you gonna teach JavaScript too? These like 5 days bootcamp does not like consider like does not have the JavaScript in scope. So no, I won't be covering it. Um, for like learning JavaScript, Let's Upgrade have a lot of courses available. You can join any of them to have a deeper insight into JavaScript. Okay. Where to do assignments or Bootstrap? Yeah, Samarth, I would be covering Bootstrap. Like I would be like giving you a basic idea on Bootstrap in these boot camp classes. Okay. Okay. So now let me just proceed with the like further in the class. Okay. So since I have introduced you the input type, right? So let me just cover other like other input types as well. So let's say if you want to have some input box in your website. So for that we have this input tag. So input type again, as I used here, right? I was using button, but now I want to have input type text. I want to enter some text in a box. Okay. So simply input type text. So now if I go and refresh, I got one box where I can enter some text, right? I can write anything over here, right? So yeah, so as simple as it looks, this is how you create a text box. Okay. So input and simply giving it type text. Then we have other properties such as name, which defines the name of this element. So let's say uh, I want to give it a name, my input simply. Okay. So actually, but this is of no use because you are not like taking any values, but you should know this that we have this property name associated with the input type. Okay. So yeah, that is about your input type. And let's say you want to have a like something that defines what this input type is meant for. So for that, let's just change the line actually. So for that, I told you about the BR tag yesterday. So let me just add few more BR tags in order to give it some spacing. Yeah. So yeah, so this is my input box, right? So there is another tag that is known as the label. Okay. So label and for, and here I can use actually the class name or ID name. So class is equal to my input again, label for my input, and label I'm giving is first name. Let's say I'm giving it as first name. Okay. So first name. Now if I refresh, you see I get some label in front of my input box, right? So now I can write the name here. Okay. Um, like many people, IGEC Tech is asking how to connect HTML file to database as a server. So IGEC Tech, like these all things are not in the scope of these bootcamps. These, if you want to learn these, you can join any of the like full stack developer courses available on Let's Upgrade. All the links to that courses and registration links and everything and the fees details, everything are provided in the description of the YouTube video. You can go through it. Okay. Um, right, fine. So now let's just like since I have created an input box, let's just style this input box as well. So I have given it a class my input, right? So I go here. So dot my input. My input. If I give width 100, let's say I want to be giving it 300 px. Height I'm going to give it 60 px. I think it would be more, but let's try. It's looking px. Yeah, so better now. And also, let's just remove the border none, border none. But border bottom I will just give. So border bottom 2px solid black. So again, I got my field. Now this time, all the borders are gone apart from the bottom border. Okay. So yeah, so this is how we can style our input fields, but this doesn't look like good. So let's just keep it like that only. Okay. And then, so yeah, this is how we create an input box. So the next thing I would like to cover is hover thing. Someone was asking about the hover property. So that hover property is actually associated with CSS. So if you all are clear with the like way I am writing CSS over here, then I will proceed with the hover property. Any doubts in this CSS, how I am writing, like how I am using the class as a selector to my HTML elements? If any doubts, then let me know. I'll cover the CSS part as well. Sunil is asking how to remove lis dot. Okay, so since he is asking about how to remove lis dot, so let's just include that in our CSS as well. So in we simply define inside our ULLI list style as none. Okay, so if we do that, that dots will be gone, right? And if instead of like disk we want other options, then we have, let's say, list style. I think disk are there. Yeah, disk are there, right? So now this will come, and then we have circle. So this, yeah, circle without filled circles will come. Okay, right? Then other things are also there, I guess. Numbers, no. Decimals, yeah, decimal. If I do that, yeah. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, right? So yeah, this is how you do that customization. UL along with LI and give the styling over here. Okay. Mm. And again, one thing, but no, let's just keep it till here only for that. So okay. Okay, most of you are clear with this, right? Okay, so let's just discuss about the hover property. So I want like if you like, for those who are not familiar with hover, hover is nothing like when I go over any element. Let's say I am going over this button. Okay, I want to make some changes to this button as soon as I like go over it. I'm not clicking it. I'm just hovering over it, like just taking my mouse over it, my mouse pointer over it, right? So for that, what I can do is I have this my button, right? So I'll write one more property, my button, and then hover. And inside this I will define. So what I want to do is, like, as soon as I hover, the background color of this button should change from that blue to let's say black, simple black. Okay. So yeah, now if I go and hover over this button, let's see. No, it doesn't seems to work. um, my God, this is coming. Yeah, so it seems to work, right? So now if I'm hovering over it, see, the background color is changing to black, right? So this is about the hover property, and this is how simply we write it. Just the class name accompanied by your colon and telling the property hover, right? And inside that you can give any CSS. Let's say you want to increase the length of this like width of this button as well as soon as you hover over it. So earlier it was 150 px, right? Let's make it 250 px as soon as we hover over it. So you see the changes now. See, it is changing, right? So yeah, this is about it. Okay. So if everything is clear till here, I'll be proceeding with the anchor tag today. Like still we have some time left. So yeah, I'll be proceeding with the anchor tag. So, okay. So let me just introduce you to the anchor tag. Anchor tag. So the anchor tag looks something like that. Um, for writing down the anchor tag, this is the syntax that you follow. So A, this is the abbreviation for your anchor tag A, then href. Like href is your like reference link actually, like where you want to take. So let's say I just want to take you to LetsUpgrade.in only. So let me just copy this URL and let's just paste it over here. Okay. Right. And I want to let's upgrade. Okay. So I simply write this. Now if I go over here and refresh my page, See, I got one link over here, right? Let's just comment out other things because those are not required as of now. So, so I get this let's upgrade over here, right? So if I click on this, it will take me to let's upgrade website, right? So this is about your anchor tag. Okay. uh, Anchor tag has one more property actually. Um, mm, mm, okay, let's keep it like that only. If you want to style the anchor tag, simply you can give a, and inside that you can give text decoration none, so that it doesn't come out as like this underline goes away. And then color you can give as inherit, I guess. Yeah, so this will remove the default styling of the anchor tag. Okay, so now it simply looks like a normal text, and if you click on it, it takes you to the let's upgrade website. Okay. So yeah, this is about your anchor tag. So now you can wrap any of your element inside an anchor tag. Okay. So let's say if you want to wrap your button inside an anchor tag. So I want this button to be wrapped inside an anchor tag. So ahref is equal to, again, let's upgrade website, and I'll just cut this over here and wrap this inside your anchor tag, right? So now if I go and refresh here and I go to this button, like click me, see, it takes me to the let's upgrade website, right? Something is happening on the click of this button right now, but I have wrapped only this one to this let's upgrade website inside my anchor tag, so it is taking me, but not this one. So if I click this, nothing is happening, see? Okay. So yeah, so this is about it. Okay, so now I will be taking up the questions from all of you. So IGC Tech is again asking me what does iframe means. Okay, so iframe is nothing like if you want to integrate YouTube videos or any kind of content from different website inside your website, then in case there is a tag available that is known as iframe, that you can use it. Okay. Um, then okay, then Abhishek is asking how to make the link open another tab through anchor tag. Okay, so yeah, so this question arises. So if you see, if now I am clicking on any any link, any anchor tag, it is opening in the same tab, right? Like in the same tab of Chrome. If I want to open it in a new tab, for that we have to write one thing over here. So that is target. Okay. So target, if I write as underscore blank, okay, and I save it, then it will open a new tab. Okay. So let's try. So you see now new in my new tab it opens. My earlier tab remains as it is, and in a new tab this opens, right? So yeah, so this is about your anchor tags property, that is target. So target underscore blank does that, right? Um, okay, anchor tag attributes. What attributes? Okay. So yeah, I'm done from my end for today's bootcamp. So I hope you guys found it useful and interesting, uh, and like you were able to catch up with me. And I hope like this HTML and CSS is seeming interesting to you all, and you all are interested in learning it more. Okay, then Rishabh is asking, sir, how to create landing page using HTML CSS. So yeah, we will be covering a project at the end of these bootcamp. So in that I will be creating a landing page using HTML and CSS only. Like that will be a kind of a portfolio website, a single landing page. So yeah, so in that you will learn it. So like follow up for all throughout these 5 days, Rishabh, you will get to learn it. Okay. Mm. Anandi is asking how to wrap the button with anchor tag. So Anandi, you see I have wrapped the button with an anchor tag, right? Simply inside my anchor tag, I have written my button element, right? So that is how you can do it. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. Can any difference between hover and before property? So yeah, Nitish, like there are differences between hover and before property. Those I will be covering in your like detailed CSS classes. Those are not in the scope of these bootcamp, as like telling only a few part would not make sense to everyone in this class. So yeah, okay. Thank you, thank you everyone. Um, Okay, then IGC Tech is asking implement animation. So animation, CSS animations are also not in the scope of these boot camps. That is a like big topic, and teaching them in a 1 hour session is not the way it should be. So yeah, for those you can have like our full stack classes enrolled into where you can learn all those things. Karthik is telling, please explain about hover. So I have already explained. Like hover is nothing when you are just going on, like taking your mouse over some element. So that is hovering. That is your event hovering. So you are simply telling your CSS that when on this class element, if someone hovers, what to do? Just change its background color and change its width. Simple. That is about it. Um, so notes of classes is like for those, again I will want to reiterate that for having proper notes and proper lecture system, you can join our full stack classes where we can have live one-to-one session with doubt solving and notes and everything. So yeah. So yeah, then thank you everyone. Thank you for your time. Let's meet tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So I'll be stopping the session now. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.